Number 9, Jacinda Ardern.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Supplementary to the Minister. Does she stand by her recent statement that there are children who are living in poverty and are doing it hard in this country, and if not, why not?
Mr. Speaker,
Tony Ryle.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Social Development, the Honourable Paula Bennett, yes, she does stand by her statement. She also stands by her statements today where she welcomes the latest Health Labour Force survey, which shows that more New Zealanders are in work. Very good to also see the continuing growth in the New Zealand economy, which will provide more opportunities for more New Zealanders.
Supplementary question, Jacinda Ardern.
Supplementary to the Minister. Why is her government content to measure and set a target for reducing rheumatic fever, but refuses to measure and set targets for poverty, a key determinant of this disease? Or is she happy to stick with her position on this issue that, quote, there is not a government measurement for poverty, ha, 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 ha?
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Social Development, I'd certainly have to check the quote that member wants to attribute to the Honourable Paula Bennett, but I can certainly say that the Minister has always made it clear that she doesn't believe there's one measurement of poverty in New Zealand. What the member should also know is the Minister is very strongly supportive of the rheumatic fever program, because under that member's opposite government, the rheumatic fever rates increased relentlessly, particularly during the term of the Minister Annette King.
Supplementary to the Minister.
Supplementary question, Jacinda Ardern.
How many measures of poverty are there, and is the government willing to pick at least 1 or even 5 of those measures?
Honourable Tony Ryle.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, this government is determined to take a far more serious approach to dealing with poverty than participating in some argument about what is the rate of poverty measurement, etc. We don't think we should be spending an inordinate amount of time debating that issue. We'd rather put our focus into actually dealing with the issues, and this government's focus has been on providing opportunity through things like education and jobs, and ensuring that we get the best out of the many hundreds of millions of dollars being spent on social delivery services in New Zealand.
Point of order.
Point of order. Jacinda Ardern.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. I asked the Minister how many measures of poverty there were and if he was willing to work with one or a range of those measures. I didn't get that response.
Would the member please repeat the question?
Mr. Speaker, my question to the Minister, how many measures of poverty are there, and is the government willing to pick 1 or up to 5 of those measures?
Honourable Tony Ryle.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, I would repeat what I said earlier on. The government's not going to get into this argument of how many measures there are, on what there is and what there isn't. Our focus isn't on spending a whole lot of time arguing about how we're going to measure it. Surely the focus must be on what are we going to do to help those families.
Point of order, Right Honourable.
If he's refusing to answer the question about the measurement of poverty, then he should sit down. That's it.
The member who asked the question asked for it to be repeated. It has certainly been adequately addressed. This time, are there further supplementaries? Jacinda Ardern, supplementary question.
Supplementary to the Minister. What is the argument against measuring child poverty?
Honourable Tony Ryle.
Mr. Speaker, I think on behalf of the Minister, I think the argument against what that member is arguing in terms of the measurement of poverty is what measure one might want to choose and how much focus you put on a single measurement. I would rather the focus was put on dealing with the issues instead of some argument about what measure is going to be used. This government is focusing on the better public service targets that our Prime Minister set, which we think will make a real improvement to the situation of many of New Zealand's children who do live in poverty, who do live in hardship, and that is our determination.
Supplementary question.
No point of order, Mr. Speaker. I still didn't feel it was adequate answer. The question was what...
That question was very adequately addressed on that occasion. Has the member got a further supplementary?
I do, Mr. Speaker. Supplementary to the Minister.
Then I suggest you use it.
Supplementary to the Minister. Do the better public service targets require measurement?
Honourable Tony Ryle.
Yes.
Supplementary question. Supplementary question.
Supplementary to
Jacinda
the
Ardern.
Minister. If the Minister's belief is that the argument against measuring child poverty is that there are too many, will the Minister accept the Children's Commissioner's recommendation that the government measure against 5 measures of child poverty? If not, why not?
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Social Development, the government is considering a number of the recommendations made by the authority that the members just referred to. We think this is a very important issue. We put a lot of time and effort into dealing with poverty, and we consider it far more of a priority than the members opposite, who've only given their spokesman the opportunity to ask questions in this House on 3 occasions this year.
Question number 10. Question number 10, Materia Ture.